Aging has a curious way of revealing itself beneath the relentless glow of arc lights. The studio lens that once softened every line eventually becomes a magnifying glass, and the audience, seasoned by decades of fan magazine devotion, notices each subtle shift. This evening, dear listener, we stroll the boulevard of memories and consider 30 familiar names. Some clutched at youth with surgeon's thread. Others allowed the seasons to write their own gentle script across cheek and brow. Yet every story reveals something about cost, courage, and vanity. Our listeners, many of whom remember waiting in line when Casablanca premiered in 1942, understand that time is always the senior partner. So pour a cup of tea, settle into your favorite armchair, and walk with me past dressing room mirrors, red carpet flashes, and quiet cottages far from sound stages. Together, we shall examine fame's glittering promise and its unyielding toll. Let us begin with Bridget Fonda, granddaughter of the stalwart Henry and daughter of Peter, who commanded the early 1990s in Single White Female and Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown. A 2003 car accident, followed by marriage to composer Danny Elfman, nudged her from red carpets toward a quieter hillside home, where motherhood and privacy became the main roles. Recent images show a content woman, her willowy frame now softened, her auburn hair silvering without fear. Close behind strolls Brooke Shields, a child model launched into stardom by Louis Malle's daring 1978 drama Pretty Baby, and later The Blue Lagoon for Columbia Pictures in 1980. Shields matured under the brightest glare Madison Avenue could muster, yet time has etched fine lines across that famous brow. Rather than mask them, she campaigns for body confidence, reminding every viewer that dignity need not depart when youth fades. Candor comforts viewers aging alongside her. Across the Atlantic, Italian fashion heiress Donatella Versace presents a cautionary portrait of surgical excess. She inherited Gianni's empire in 1997, determined to keep the Medusa emblem glowing over Milan runways. Yet with each new collection appeared a new procedure: lips fuller, brow smoother, cheekbones sharpened like marble. Critics whispered that the couturière had become a creation of her own atelier, more sculpture than sister. Still, her business acumen keeps the brand profitable, proving that talent can persist even when aesthetics provoke debate. On American screens, Melanie Griffith once embodied heartbeat softness in Working Girl for 20th Century Fox in 1988, her grin lighting boardrooms and audiences alike. Years of fillers and lifts later, that grin seems trapped beneath glass. Griffith has candidly admitted misgivings, undertaking reversal treatments and encouraging younger actresses to weigh every syringe with caution. Both women remind us that artifice, when overused, risks completely eclipsing natural charisma. Mickey Rourke stormed through the 1980s with the sultry menace of Marlon Brando reborn, captivating audiences in 9.5 weeks. And Alan Parker's Angel Heart. Then came boxing rings, facial fractures, and hastily chosen reconstructive surgery. The outcome left his features swollen and asymmetrical, a stark contrast to the matinee contours that once rivaled Gable. Yet Rourke's heart for performance never broke. He claimed a Golden Globe in 2009 for The Wrestler, reminding cynics that craft can outlast complexion. Meanwhile, Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards, who first bent blues riffs for Decca Records in 1963, has defied actuarial tables through decades of relentless touring, whiskey, and legend-making. His visage, carved by every cigarette and sleepless dawn, resembles weathered leather, yet radiates impish delight. Richards jokes that preservatives in bourbon kept him alive, proving humor a potent balm against society's obsession with smoothness. His riffs, like himself, simply refuse expiration. Gary Busey burst onto screens with unbridled energy in the Buddy Holly biopic of 1978, earning an Academy Award nomination. A near-fatal motorcycle accident 10 years later shattered his skull, reshaping both temperament and appearance. Subsequent behavioral quirks, often displayed on reality television, overshadowed his earlier artistry, while the physical scars served as permanent souvenirs of asphalt and chance. In the same decade, Kelly McGillis soared opposite Tom Cruise in Top Gun for Paramount Pictures, her porcelain profile framed by aviator sunsets. Choosing a path seldom taken in Hollywood, she refused cosmetic intervention, allowing gravity and laughter to settle naturally upon her face. McGillis left studio lots for teaching posts and community theater in North Carolina, trading sequins for serenity. Her bravery in embracing authenticity offers a quiet lesson beside Busey's public struggle. Circumstance may alter a visage, yet purpose can still command respect among appreciative classic film lovers. Lindsay Lohan entered cinematic memory as the freckled dynamo in Disney's 1998 remake of The Parent Trap, then embodied teenage coolness with Mean Girls 7 years later. Her rise was swift. So was the unraveling. Courtrooms, rehabilitation clinics, and paparazzi flashbulbs replaced dialogue coaches. The result can be read in weary eyes and puffiness that belie her 38 years. Yet Lohan has signaled new beginnings, relocating to Dubai and announcing fresh projects that hint at a possible third act. Meanwhile, Kirstie Alley captivated television viewers as Rebecca Howe on the long-running NBC comedy Cheers, winning an Emmy in 1991. Over subsequent decades, her weight fluctuated under merciless tabloid headlines. Alley confronted the issue openly, launching health programs, dancing on reality contests, and laughing at the louder critics. Though her features toughened, that unmistakable husky voice remains, reminding viewers that charm survives the fiercest battles with metabolism and expectation. Val Kilmer once soared across blockbuster skies as Iceman in Tony Scott's 1986 Top Gun, later channeling Jim Morrison for Oliver Stone's 1991 Portrait of the Doors. In 2015, throat cancer entered the narrative, stealing his voice and yielding a tracheotomy that left visible scars. Kilmer, ever the magician, embraced technology and brief cameo appearances, allowing audiences to celebrate resilience over surface symmetry. Sharing a similar battle, Kathleen Turner, remembered for her sultry entrance in 1981's Body Heat, faced rheumatoid arthritis during the 1990s. Medications bloated her frame and dulled that once velvety alto. Yet Turner marched back onto Broadway stages, earning Tony nominations while discussing chronic pain with refreshing candor. In both careers, we observe bodies altered by illness rather than vanity, and spirits refusing surrender. Their courage invites us to measure stars not by cheekbones, but by the light still shining behind their eyes. For all who watch, Caitlyn Jenner first conquered public imagination as Bruce, the Olympic decathlon champion of the 1976 Montreal Games, earning a place on Wheaties cereal boxes and within American folklore. Her transition in 2015 unfolded before reality television cameras, demanding viewers consider identity beyond biology. Multiple facial feminization surgeries sculpted new contours, and critics debated the results with noisy fascination. Yet Jenner's perseverance opened conversations once relegated to whispered corners. Equally outspoken, Janice Dickinson proclaimed herself the world's first supermodel after dominating Vogue covers during the 1970s. Her relentless pursuit of agelessness led to injections, lifts, and implants that gradually masked the angular beauty Richard Avedon adored. Dickinson, never shy, now educates younger models about the costs of cosmetic compulsion while maintaining her signature irreverence. Between these two pioneers, we see how bold self-reinvention carries both liberation and wrinkle-deep complications. Their journeys spark debate, empathy, and evolving definitions of beauty. Reality television introduced Heidi Montag through MTV's The Hills in 2006, a sunlit chronicle of Laguna Beach dreams. At 23, she famously endured 10 procedures in a single day: brow lift, chin reduction, and more, emerging with features that startled even seasoned surgeons. Years later, Montag voiced regret, describing physical pain and emotional dislocation, a sobering commentary for viewers weighing similar choices. By contrast, Sarah Jessica Parker, who studied at the School of American Ballet before securing the lead in HBO's Sex and the City, has faced ageist barbs for doing almost nothing at all. Her fine lines and silver strands occur beside designer gowns on Manhattan sidewalks, and gossip columns wonder why she does not conceal them. Parker answers by continuing to work, produce, and support theater outreach programs, proving that a life vigorously lived can outshine any serum. 2 roads, 1 lesson. Authenticity bears distinct, lasting radiance for actresses. Few pop images are as indelible as Pamela Anderson sprinting along the Malibu shore in the syndicated sensation Baywatch during the 1990s, buoyed by crimson swimwear and a carefree grin. Years of headline romance, silicone revisions, and allergy reactions have since rendered her cheeks fuller and her smile less spontaneous. Yet Anderson channels her celebrity into vigorous animal rights advocacy for the organization People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. LaToya Jackson, 5th child of the storied Motown family, enjoyed chart success in the 1980s, but became better known for a series of cosmetic procedures mirroring brother Michael's obsession with refinement. LaToya's nose slimmed, her brows arched, and skeptics lamented the vanishing resemblance to the bright teenager once presented on The Tonight Show. Today, she hosts true crime programs and promotes domestic abuse awareness, proof that purpose can emerge after fame's first blaze. Appearances evolve. Commitments endure for caring audiences. Meg Ryan's effervescent charm in When Harry Met Sally refreshed romantic comedy in 1989. Her bright eyes and unruly curls becoming studio shorthand for approachable enchantment. Surgical experimentation 2 decades later altered that familiar expression, freezing the dimpled smile that once convinced America that miracles could occur inside Katz's delicatessen. Ryan now directs small projects, allowing narrative to replace visage as calling card. Across the Atlantic resides Brigitte Bardot, the French siren who scandalized post-war sensibilities with And God Created Woman for director Roger Vadim in 1956. Unlike many modern counterparts, Bardot avoided scalpels, letting wrinkles trace every sun-soaked afternoon along Saint-Tropez beaches. At 89, she campaigns fiercely for animal welfare, her one-time pout replaced by purposeful conviction. Together, these women illustrate opposite responses to fame's mirror. One sought restoration and lost likeness. The other accepted erosion and gained influence. Both stories echo across generations of dreamers. Teri Hatcher first swung into public consciousness as Lois Lane opposite Dean Cain in Lois and Clark during the early 1990s, then returned to prominence on ABC's Desperate Housewives. Rumors of Botox and fillers followed each season finale, though Hatcher insists her regimen is limited and temporary. Whatever the truth, critics note a certain tautness around once expressive eyes, a reminder that even moderate tinkering can shift audience perception. Courtney Love, widow of Nirvana's Kurt Cobain and frontwoman for the alternative band Hole, channeled raw emotion into platinum albums during the grunge uprising of 1994. Years of substance abuse, legal battles, and reconstructive dentistry carved deep lines into her angular face. Yet Love's stage presence remains magnetic. She mentors younger musicians and develops screenplays, proving survival itself can be art. Hatcher and Love, though worlds apart stylistically, exemplify the delicate balance between reinvention and remembrance that haunts every aging performer. Goldie Hawn danced into our hearts on NBC's Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1968, giggling through skits with daisies painted across her cheeks. That effervescence traveled through Private Benjamin and Overboard, but age has inevitably softened the cherubic contours. Hawn embraces selective treatments while preserving her trademark sunshine, frequently appearing alongside daughter Kate Hudson. Meanwhile, Sophia Loren, born Sofia Villani Schiccoloni in Rome during 1934, bridged Italian neorealism and Hollywood spectacle. Winning the 1961 Academy Award for Two Women, she became the first performer to earn the honor for a foreign language role. Now, in her late 80s, Loren's deep-set eyes gleam beneath elegant lines, testament to a life lived without surrender to surgical extremes. She remains a symbol of poise, attending film festivals in understated Armani ensembles. Hawn and Loren prove that different cultures offer distinct yet equally resonant paths toward graceful visibility beyond youthful prime. Their laughter still echoes. Kelly LeBrock's entrance in The Woman in Red for Orion Pictures in 1984 felt like a cinematic drumroll, culminating the following year with her role as the computer-generated dream girl in John Hughes's Weird Science. After stepping back from Hollywood during the 1990s, LeBrock settled on a California ranch, later acknowledging struggles with weight gain and the pressure once imposed by glossy magazine covers. She now advocates mindful living, her voice underscored by experience. Brendan Fraser, meanwhile, swung across vines in George of the Jungle and excavated ancient curses in Universal's The Mummy franchise. Repeated stunt injuries, personal loss, and industry sidelining added pounds and caution to his once heroic frame. Yet in 2022, Darren Aronofsky cast him in The Whale, and festival audiences wept during the standing ovation. LeBrock and Fraser demonstrate that a return to relevance hinges less on physique and more on sincerity, vulnerability, and craft. Barbra Streisand, born in Brooklyn during 1942, conquered Broadway with Funny Girl and carried that powerhouse voice onto Columbia Records, gathering 10 Grammy Awards along the way. Unlike many contemporaries, she resisted cosmetic extremes, preserving the aquiline profile once deemed too unconventional for stardom. Lines now rest beside her eyes, yet when she sings Evergreen, the decades fall away for audiences. Renée Zellweger, hailing from Texas, captured Bridget Jones's diary-centric vulnerability in 2001, then surprised critics by transforming into Judy Garland for the 2019 biopic Judy, earning a second Oscar. Between those triumphs, she appeared at a 2014 gala looking startlingly altered, wider eyes, softened jaw, igniting speculative editorials. Zellweger later acknowledged procedures and expressed regret for chasing approval. Today, she balances film roles with rural gardening. Streisand and Zellweger, though separated by generation, teach that a distinctive face may invite early critique, yet ultimately supports lasting artistic identity for loyal audiences. Britney Spears burst from the Mickey Mouse Club onto global airwaves in 1998 with Baby One More Time, her schoolgirl video reshaping pop culture overnight. 2 decades of tabloid scrutiny, legal conservatorship, and personal turmoil carved visible fatigue into once carefree features. Freed in 2021 after a public legal struggle, Spears now posts unfiltered dance rehearsals, wrinkles and all, celebrating autonomy above polish. Courteney Cox, immortalized as Monica on Friends, sought fillers to preserve the fresh-faced image syndicated daily around the world. She later dissolved many injections, confessing to New Beauty magazine that her reflection felt foreign. Today, she produces streaming comedies and strums guitar duets with partner Johnny McDade, cheeks no longer frozen. Both women exemplify the modern intersection of digital permanence and human change. Millions witness their aging in real time, yet artistry revives the dimension beyond screen capture. Their courage guides fans toward empathy and patience. Stepping back, a pattern emerges. Hollywood was built on illusion, yet the inexorable calendar insists upon disclosure. Some performers, like Loren or Bardot, welcomed the disclosure as evidence of journeys completed. Others attempted to edit the calendar through surgery, filters, or lighting tricks. Neither path guarantees peace. The knife can preserve symmetry, yet diminish spontaneity. Refusal can guard authenticity, yet invite cruel commentary. Our grandparents knew a similar tension during the Technicolor transition of the 1940s, when filmmakers debated whether audiences preferred polished fantasy or newsreel realism. In truth, spectators crave sincerity more than flawlessness. We forgive crow's feet if the eyes behind them sparkle with recognizable life, and we applaud subtle restoration when it supports, rather than replaces, expression. The 30 tales recounted tonight illustrate that aging is not defeat. It is collaboration with story, a new act after the intermission hush. Acceptance alone satisfies the most discerning audience. The pressure to remain 29 did not begin with Instagram. Silent star Mary Pickford curled ringlets into middle age, and Greta Garbo retired at 36 rather than risk public fade. Studios once inserted clauses penalizing actresses for weight gain, while lending libraries of wigs and teeth offered temporary rescue. Today, the battlefield includes high-definition lenses and global hashtags, magnifying each pore. Mental health fractures under such scrutiny. Rourke retreated to boxing, Kilmer to painting, Spears to dance videos, each searching for a sanctuary where mirrors speak softly. For viewers who lived through wartime rationing and black and white newsreels, the moral feels familiar. Endurance outweighs veneer. Our lives may never occupy billboards, yet we too negotiate prescriptions, family expectations, and memories of brighter hair. When famous faces falter, they remind us that vulnerability does not expire with glamour. It deepens humanity. Grace blooms when trials are faced in daylight. While celluloid idols and streaming celebrities seem worlds apart, the same applause once echoed through Grauman's Chinese theater and now through handheld speakers. What our elders taught remains sturdy. A well-told story needs flesh and soul, not porcelain. Clark Gable's ears were famously large, Betty Davis's eyes unconventional, yet both captivated because sincerity cresting behind imperfection felt relatable. In our survey, Parker's silver hair gleams as proudly as Lauren's wrinkles, and Fraser's broadened waist draws compassion reminiscent of Orson Welles' later years. Viewers reading obituaries for cherished pets, paying mortgage bills, or caring for grandchildren know the price of seasons changing. Celebrities, though wrapped in couture, face identical winds. Recognizing shared fragility fosters kinship, dissolving the artificial divide between orchestra and balcony. If Hollywood history offers a single steady lesson, it is that truth, however weathered, invites longer applause than any illusion composed in a laboratory. Audiences reward integrity and longevity. And so, as the footlights dim and our 20-minute promenade concludes, consider the images lingering in your mind. There stands Bridget Fonda, gardening gloves in place of diamond bracelets, Keith Richards searching for the next riff beneath wrinkled knuckles, Sophia Loren closing an evening ceremony with a stately nod, and Britney Spears twirling freely across her living room floor. Time, equal parts sculptor and storyteller, has dressed each of them in honest attire. We too wear its designs. Perhaps tomorrow a new headline will announce another cheekbone adjustment or another brave refusal. When it does, remember what Hollywood's Grand Parade has taught across 9 decades. Faces change, but heart, humor, and humility sustain lasting connection. Thank you for walking beside me along this boulevard of recollection. May your own reflection bring gratitude rather than worry. And may the coming reel of life play with gentle focus and enduring grace.